If Earth were on the brink of destruction, the best backup planet for humanity would be Kepler-22b. But after 12 years of research, scientists reached a terrifying conclusion. This planet might be a trap. Its surface temperature stays at a comfortable 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, and it very likely has liquid water. Its position sits dead center in the habitable zone. Not too close, not too far, as if someone deliberately placed it there. Here's where it gets even crazier. Kepler-22b is 2.4 times the size of Earth. If life exists there, they could easily stand over 10 feet tall, with bones twice as dense as ours. One punch could drive your skull straight into your chest. Scientists estimate this planet's civilization is at least 2 levels above Earth's, because it was born 2 billion years before our planet. What does that mean? If intelligent life really exists there, their technology could be a billion years ahead of ours. They may have discovered us long ago, and simply chosen to stay silent. Or maybe they're already on their way. Today, let's talk about this planet, the one NASA has labeled most likely to harbor alien civilization, and what secrets it might be hiding. In 2009, NASA launched a space telescope called Kepler. Its mission sounds incredibly boring. Stare at 150,000 stars and just watch. It continuously monitored brightness changes in stars across the Cygnus and Lyra constellations. When a planet passes in front of its star, the starlight dims ever so slightly. This method is called the transit technique. The difficulty is like standing in Beijing, staring at a lamp in Shanghai, waiting for a mosquito to fly past and block the light. What Kepler had to detect was a brightness change of just 0.01%, and it had to catch this pattern 3 times in a row before confirming it was actually a planet. On December 5, 2011, the telescope finally locked onto a target. One star dimmed every 290 days. 4 cycles matched perfectly. Scientists were thrilled, but the calculations that followed sent chills down everyone's spine. Kepler-22b is 2.4 times the size of Earth. That number lands right on the edge of astronomy's strangest forbidden zone. Scientists call it the Fulton Gap. What does that mean? Planets in the universe are either small, rocky balls like Earth and Mars, or large, gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. But in the range between 1.5 and 2 times Earth's size, planet numbers drop off a cliff. Out of thousands of known planets in the Milky Way, less than 3% fall into this size range. It's like a clothing rack with only small and large sizes. The medium section is completely empty, and Kepler-22b happens to exist at exactly this size that shouldn't exist, precisely perched on the edge of the forbidden zone. What's even more unsettling is its orbit. Earth's orbit around the Sun is elliptical. In a chaotic universe where gravitational forces constantly pull and tug, a perfectly circular orbit is nearly impossible. But Kepler-22b's orbit looks like it was drawn with a compass. In the real universe, this is basically a glitch, like seeing a feather floating perfectly still in the eye of a tornado, defying every law of physics. Then there's its star system. What should a normal star system look like? It should have multiple planets orbiting together, asteroid belts acting as buffers, comet clouds, and all kinds of cosmic debris. Look at our solar system, 8 planets, hundreds of moons, countless asteroids. But Kepler-22b's system? It's disturbingly clean. Just one planet, hanging alone in the dead center of the habitable zone, with nothing around it, as if someone vacuumed the whole place. Scientists scanned repeatedly with telescopes, trying to find its moons. They found nothing. This doesn't look like a naturally evolved star system. It looks more like a freshly decorated model home. So what exactly is Kepler-22b? Scientists have proposed several possibilities, and each one is more unsettling than the last. First possibility, a super-Earth, a giant rocky ball wrapped in a thick atmosphere. But here's the problem. If the atmosphere is too thick, it becomes a hellscape like Venus, with surface temperatures soaring to 860 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's too thin, it can't support a planet 2.4 times Earth's size. Scientists ran the numbers obsessively, trying thousands of combinations. They found only one extremely narrow set of parameters that could keep the surface stable at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And the odds of that combination occurring naturally? Less than 1 in 100,000. Second possibility, an ocean world. The entire planet covered by liquid water hundreds of miles deep, with not an inch of dry land. Sounds romantic, right? But without land, there are no volcanoes. Without volcanoes, there's no mineral cycling. Life might be forever trapped in its most primitive state. This could just be a blue graveyard. The third hypothesis is even wilder, a mini Neptune. It might not be made of rock at all, but rather a smaller version of a gas planet. According to planetary formation theory, gas giants can only form beyond the frost line, far from the star, where temperatures are cold enough for water to freeze and attract enough gas. But Kepler-22b sits inside the habitable zone, where temperatures couldn't possibly allow a gas giant to form, unless it originally formed in the outer regions, and something dragged it inward. What kind of force could do that? And why is its orbit still so perfect afterward? What keeps scientists up at night isn't any single anomaly. It's when you list out all the just rights together, the precision becomes suffocating. Size, exactly 2.4 times Earth, right on the edge of the Fulton Gap. Temperature, exactly 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The the most comfortable for humans. Orbital period, exactly 290 days, close to an Earth year. Star brightness, exactly 97% of our Sun. Orbital distance, exactly 0.85 astronomical units. 1. Coincidence? Call it luck. 2. Call it fortune. 3. Call it a miracle. But 5, 6, 7 parameters all lining up perfectly? All falling into that narrow window most suitable for life? Can we still call that coincidence? Of course, we can't rashly claim it was manufactured. But when every number on a planet looks like someone punched it into a calculator, we have every right to ask, was it ever meant for us to see? Is it an invitation? A warning? Or a specimen in some cosmic experiment? But all of this is just speculation, because the distance is simply too far. 600 light-years is an unbridgeable chasm. Even the fastest probe humanity has, the Parker Solar Probe, traveling at 120,000 miles per hour. Would take nearly a million years to get there, even if we master nuclear fusion engines and reach 10% the speed of light. A one-way trip would still take 6,000 years. That means we may never get there. One last question for you. If Kepler-22b looks like it was designed, what about this blue planet beneath our feet? Earth sits 93 million miles from the Sun, no more, no less. A little closer and we'd burn. A little farther and we'd freeze. Our Jupiter is 318 times Earth's mass, positioned just right in the outer solar system. It acts like a giant shield, blocking most of the deadly asteroids headed our way. Could all these just rights also be some kind of design? Kepler-22b is like a mirror. It doesn't just show us the mysteries of the universe. It makes us question our own existence. That planet 600 light-years away may never give us answers, but it has already asked the question. And that question is enough to keep humanity awake for many, many years to come.